Study Section 6. Justice. Introduction. In this study section, we will focus our attention on the complex notion of justice by examining the meaning of justice, its types, and importance to political activities and human development at large. Learning outcomes. When you study this section, you should be able to define and use correctly the term justice, present the importance of the concept of justice to development. Conception of justice. Justice may simply be expressed as giving everybody his due, treating equals equally, and being fair to oneself and others. According to Omorigbe, 2007, page 45, the foundation of justice is predicated on the fundamental equality of all men. But it should be noted that the equality in question is ontological equality, and this is based on the principle that all men are equal, even though we know that in natural and social terms, all men are not equal, as men possesses differences in talents, ability, and physical structure, and even in desires. Justice, as a philosophical concept, can also be used to describe the following among other things. 1. The preservation of the existing social order and reformation of the existing distribution of rights. 2. The order of society and the rights of individuals. 3. The system of law and the realm of morality. Omishore, 2006, page 94. There are several conceptions of justice, and many of them are related. In other words, the discussion of one flow into the other, and that is why the notion of justice is said to be a complex one. However, we shall attempt to state some of this conception. 1. Thrasymachus, an ancient Greek philosopher who was a sophist, equated justice with might. According to him, justice was the interest of the stronger. This has the logical implication that might is right. The basis of his conclusion is that strong and powerful men in society use their might to achieve their aims, and their actions are considered as just. Although this sense of justice seems to obtain in society, this is an immoral conception of justice. 2. Plato, the Greek philosopher, equated justice with harmony in the soul and in the society. In fact, Plato derived justice in the individual through his analysis of justice in the society. Plato divided society into 3 parts, signifying 3 major professions, namely the guardians, rulers, the auxiliaries, soldiers, and the producers, artisans, business people, farmers, etc. Justice in society is obtained when people perform their duties within their different classes. Likewise, the 3 parts of man, namely the rational part, the spiritual part, and the appetitive part, corresponding to reason, the higher emotions and the lower emotions respectively. Justice in the individual is achieved when these 3 parts play their roles. 3. Aristotle is of the view that justice is the greatest of all virtues, and its distinction between equality in arithmetic dimension and equality in geometrical dimension to substantiate the notion of justice. Arithmetic equality gives equal shares to all alike, irrespective of worth and differences. But on a philosophical examination, this will be unfair, as people are not equal even in their contribution to the social system. This criticism forms the basis of geometrical equality. Geometrical equality emphasizes the point that equal shares should be given to equal persons, while unequal shares should be given to unequal persons. The implication of this is that benefits, burdens, and responsibilities should be made proportionate to individuals' worth, ability, and merit. It should be noted that this proportionate equality forms the foundation of equity. 4. Legal justice. This form of justice has to do with the relationship between citizens and the state. It requires the observance of all the laws of the state fashioned out for the common good of the society. This further implies that common good takes precedence over private interest. In other words, common good should not be sacrificed for private interest. To sacrifice common good for private interest will mean the violation of legal justice. 5. Distributive justice deals with fair and equitable distribution of both the goods and the duties of societies among its members. John Rawls, in his A Theory of Justice 1971, popularized this notion of justice. One of the cardinal principles of Rawls' conception of justice is that in the distribution of benefits, the less well-off individuals must be properly taken care of. The value of justice. There is no human society without a conception of justice. The presence or lack of justice in any social situation also determines the level of human development. The issue of justice is ever present, regardless of one's level of human existence. Oyeshide 2011, page 223. The realm of social justice is instructive because it forms the foundation of life in society. More often than not, social justice concerns our entitlements, which can be seen as distributive justice. Social justice therefore arises from the action and inaction of individual social actors in society. No human society is insulated from justice, but it takes different form in different societies. It should be noted that our ability to address the problem of injustice in a decisive manner has largely been responsible for the development and underdevelopment of societies. Study section summary. In this study section, we examine the concept of justice, noting that it has to do with fairness, desert, rightness, and so forth. We also examine the different conceptions of justice and mention some of their shortcomings. We concluded the section by examining the importance of the concept of justice in human society. End of study section 6. Thanks for listening.